Excuse me while I eat my cheeses. But the following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network. And from Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium, I'm Ron Chuckett. I messed up on the schedule, but nothing that affects the replay. Minnesota and Dallas is a Monday night Week 9 game. It was not. It was this one that you're about to see. The 3-5 Los Angeles Rams and the 4-4 Atlanta Falcons from Fulton County Stadium. A beautiful night in hot Atlanta. It's not hot at all. It's 57 degrees. It's clear. There's a bit of wind. The Rams will have it in the first quarter from 0 to 10 miles an hour. And good for the grounds crew to get the infield all filled in. It's all green grass. And so the Atlanta, not a surprise that they're playing well, 500 team. They are favored by 4 in this game. They will kick it off. The Rams have won the toss. Atlanta will get the football to start the second half. In real life, the Rams were 6.5-point favorites. Just keep that under your hat while you go through. And so as the clock strikes high noon, Tim Mazzetti is ready, gets the sign, and boots it away. Latin is the returner for the Rams at the 5-yard line. To the 10, 20, 25, 30. Good return to the 32 before Ortega.
Illegal block. Receiving team.
Doesn't matter. It's coming back anyway. So Pat Hayden is the quarterback. John Capoletti is hurt for the game. Pat Hayden, your quarterback. Cullen Bryant and Lawrence McCutcheon are your running backs. Ron Jesse, the leading receiver for the Rams, up on the far side. Willie Miller is the other receiver. And Terry Nelson is the tight end. But the Rams are a run team. Bryant on a trap to the left. From his 9-yard line, gets it across to the 12. It's a gain of 3. Jim Bailey makes the tackle. And that's how this one starts. 2nd and 7 from the Los Angeles 12. The line from left to right, and it's a good one. Doug France is a 9 at left tackle. Dennis Hara, the left guard, also a 9. Rich Saul, good center. Jackie Slater, the Hall of Famer, is at right guard. And John Williams, not that John Williams, is the right tackle. McCutcheon on a trap to the right on 2nd and 7, and he gets it to the 14-yard line before Yates makes the play. Jeff Yates with a stop. And remember, this is the remnants of the Grits Blitz that Atlanta used so well in 1977. Let's meet their defense on 3rd and 5. They play a 4-3. Jeff Yates at defensive end. Jim Bailey, the left defensive tackle. Mike Lewis, the right defensive tackle. Jeff Moreau is the right defensive end. Rick Bias is your left corner. Roland Lawrence is your right corner. Fulton Kuykendall is the right outside linebacker. Robert Pennywell clogs up the middle. And Dewey McClain is on the left outside. Tom Pridemore is your strong safety. And Frank Reed is your free safety. And on 3rd and 5, they're going to throw a short hitch to Terry Nelson. Hayden back to throw. Has Nelson for a first down at the 24. Nelson tries to run, but Pridemore won't let him go any further. It's a gain of 10, spotted at the 24, and it's 1st and 10 for the Rams. McCutcheon on a pitch to the far side from the 24, 1st and 10. Does not get a good block. Gets 3 yards. Merrill with a tackle. And it's a gain of 3. As I said, 2nd and 7 for the Rams on their own 27. Just the start of things, first drive of the game. The Rams will grind and grind and grind. And I might mention that they might grind. If they win, they're 4-5. But since Atlanta is 4-4, this is a battle for first place. Colin Bryant off tackle to the right. And he gets it to the 30. Yates knocks him down right there. So 12 minutes and change to go. Actually, be about 11 and a half by the time they get snapped. And Bryant got a gain of 3. So 3rd and 4 for the Rams. Hayden calls his own number on a sweep to the left, and that works. It's a first down and more. Hayden across the 40 to the 45. Bias with a tackle. It's a gain of 15. So the Rams will throw with the frequency of what a horse drinks in the desert, which isn't very often. They get 15 on that play. 1st and 10 for the Rams from their own 45. McCutcheon on a trap to the left. And he gets about 2 yards before Merrill stands him up. McCutcheon was shaken up on the play, and he's out for the game. So Wendell Tyler is in with Colin Bryant. John Capoletti, who was their workhorse back, is going to miss this game. He was injured. He's their leading rusher on the year, 96 carries for 284 yards. So the Rams on 2nd and 9. Jackie Slater, by the way, made the bad block. They're in a heap of trouble already. Bryant on a trap to the right on 2nd down and 9 and gets nowhere. Mike Lewis whipped him down at the line of scrimmage, and it's 3rd and 9. So 3 wide receivers. Billy Waddy is your 3rd receiver. Ron Jesse on a medium cross. Falcons blitz. Hayden has time. He looks. He finds Jesse at the Atlanta 40. He's got some room to the 35. Lawrence makes a tackle at the 34. It's a gain of 20 yards. 1st and 10 from the Atlanta 34. So Hayden 2 for 2 for 30 yards on the game. Wendell Tyler only had 14 carries all year. He'll go trap left as they leave the 3 receivers in there, but Tyler gets a block. He gets across to 30. Merrill with the tackle after a gain of 7. 2nd and 3 for the Rams from the Falcons 27. Tyler and Bryant in the game. Jesse and Miller the receivers, and now Young is in for Terry Nelson at tight end. Charlie Young. Colin Bryant on a dive on 2nd down and short, and the Falcons read that all the way. Pennywell, they had him keyed, and it'll be 3rd and 3 for the Rams from the Atlanta 27. Tyler on a pitch to the far side. Tries to find a block. He gets at least, I think he got back to the line of scrimmage before Merrill knocked him down. The Falcons played run, and Tyler obliged. So there'll be a field goal attempt here. This will be 44 yards. And Frank Corral is the Rams kicker. Walker is the holder, and Saul is the snapper. So here we go. The kick is up, and it is blocked. Eichendahl blocked it. Merrill recovers it. And Atlanta starts at their own 37. What a huge break. And for the Falcons, if they can win this, they'll have a 2-game lead in the division. So half of the quarter goes by the boards, and the Rams can't do anything with it. Steve Bartkowski starts this game. June Jones, by the way, came in I don't know if Bartkowski got hurt or was ineffective, but Jones was the leading quarterback for Atlanta. Bubba Bean and Haskell Stanback are the primary running backs. Bubba Bean on a trap to the left. Hi, Brad. How are you? Bean gets it across the 40. It's a good run. Reynolds makes the tackle after a gain of 8. Jack Reynolds, not what the Rams wanted. They lose Lawrence McCutcheon for the game. John Cappelletti is hurt. And Atlanta gets 8 on their first play from scrimmage. Haskell Stanback on the fullback dive. He does have it. It's a gain of 2. Jack Reynolds with a tackle again. So under 6 minutes to go, first fresh set of downs for the Falcons. Billy Rickman is up on the far side. Wallace Francis is the near side receiver. And Jim Mitchell is the tight end for Atlanta. From right to left, Mike Ken, Arcee Thielman, Jeff Van Note, the center, Dave Scott, the left guard, and Warren Bryant, the left tackle. Bartkowski tries to find Bubba Bean in the flat, and he does. 45 midfield across the 45. Simpson with a tackle. It's a gain of 10, and it's a first down. So Bill Simpson with the tackle. The front 4 for the Rams. Fred Dreyer, before he became a full-fledged actor, the left defensive end. That's right. Cody Jones, the left defensive tackle. Now the strength of the Rams line, Larry Brooks. And Jack Youngblood, who's a 10. He's the one that played a playoff game in '79 on a broken leg. Linebackers, Jim Youngblood, Jack Reynolds, and Isaiah Robertson. The corners are good. That's not Pat Thomas, but it is Pat Thomas. And Rod Perry. Bill Simpson is the strong safety. Dave Elmendorf is the free safety. And yep, that's the old school Falcons field. It's amazing a month after the baseball season how that grass has grown in there too. 1st and 10 for the Falcons from the Los Angeles 43. Bean on a sweep to the near side. Gets a little bit of room, but only back in the line before Larry Brooks makes a stop at Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium. That was a cold place to play in December. Remember, if you ever watched the Peach Bowl, Brad, I called it Hot Atlanta in the open, but this time of year it was anything but hot in northern Georgia. 2nd and 10. Yeah, great. Yeah. Stanback off tackle left from the 43, and he fights for a yard or 3. They'll spot it at the 40. Larry Brooks with the tackle. Stanback ran it 21 times for Atlanta in the real game. For 51, Atlanta won the real game 15-7. They never found the end zone. Tim Mazzetti, 5 field goals. So Wallace Francis, what am I going to throw here? 3rd down and 7. Short hitch from Bartkowski. He's back off his foot, and it's dropped. Thomas hit him. It'll get called as a drop, but Thomas just jarred that right out of him. And from the 40, what do we do here? John James will punt. Atlanta's going into the wind. 0-10. Sideline punt coming. And it's a dandy. It's inside the 20. That's what they wanted. It's inside the 10. In fact, they'll spot it at the 1-yard line. You can't coffin corner a kick any better than that. And so John James gets a good hand as he runs off the sideline. 3:30 to go. First quarter, no score. And this battle for the NFC West. Cullen Bryant on a sweep to the left. And he gets to the 3-yard line. It's a gain of 2. Pennywell with a stop. 2nd and 8 from the Los Angeles 3. I want to say the Dodgers, but that's not true. The Rams are backed up on the left field side of the bowl. And they'll go 2 tight end set. Tyler off tackle left, hoping for something. He gets across the 5 to the 7-yard line. It's a gain of 4. That gives Pat Hayden some room to operate here. 3 carries for 11 yards for Tyler, and Pennywell makes his 3rd tackle. So let's see what we can find for Willie Miller. Short slant. Hayden back to throw it. Dumps it down to Bryant. Instead, Bryant gets the 1st down and a little bit more. Pennywell was keyed on him. It's a gain of 7. Well, maybe not keyed, but anywho, it's a gain of 7. 1st and 10 from the Rams from their own 14. 2 minutes and maybe a second left to go in the 1st quarter. Bryant on a pitch to the right, to the near side. And gets a block across the 15. Falmiuna makes it. Wilson Falmiuna, and look at that head of hair. Oh, my word. Makes the stop after a gain of 5. Bryant, 6 carries for 13 yards. 2nd and 5 from the 19. Wendell Tyler on a trap to the left. Cross the 20, and that's going to be about it. Spot it right at the 20. Jim Bailey makes the tackle. 3rd and 4 for the Rams. And Pat Hayden will call his own number by going on a sweep to the right. Does it work this time? No, sir. In fact, the ball is knocked loose. Lewis stripped it. That's why you don't run. Saul had it, then Bailey recovered it. So after all that, with 27 seconds left, the Falcons get it on the Los Angeles 20-yard line. The Rams, with 2 long drives, have a goose egg on the scoreboard. Francis on a medium slant. Bartowski looks, dumps it down to Bean, has it. Bean gets to the 15, and that's knocked loose by Youngblood. But Bryant recovers it, and at the end of the 1st quarter, it's Atlanta nothing and Los Angeles nothing. So at the 14-yard line, the 2nd and 4. Bubba Bean on a pitch to the far side from the 14. And he gets nothing there as Robertson stands him up after the pitch. Yeah. In the replay, as I said, it's Capoletti. 284 yards the 1st half of the year. They just ran and ran and ran. They never trusted Hayden. In fact, Vince Ferragamo would be the quarterback that brought them to the Super Bowl the next year. 3rd and short, or 3rd and 4. Short cross to Jim Mitchell. Bartowski is blitzed. He looks for Stanbeck, and that's not going to get there. So it's incomplete. And lo and behold, here comes Tim Mazzetti with an 87% chance of making the field goal. James is the holder. He's the punter. And the snapper is going to be Van Note. Oh, they miss McCutcheon a lot. And they'll miss him in this game, too, because he was their workhorse. And he left just before he got here, Brad. So Mazzetti, from 29 or 30, makes it from 31 yards, dead center. So the Falcons are on the board first. They lead 3-0 with 14-12 in the 2nd quarter. I got a late start, so I'm going to eat my Cheez-Its. But since we're in Atlanta, I have a Coke. Actually, I have a Coke Zero. Hey, Al, how are you? So this game could have been played in Timbuktu, and I still would have had a Coke Zero. So bear with me. 14-12 to go in the half. 3-0 Atlanta. And the Rams will return it a yard deep in the end zone. Tyler, 5, 10, 15, 20. Got a good seam to the 30, 35, 39-yard line. It's Latin. Oh, and it's coming back. It's coming back. Do the words "gur" mean anything to you? I don't remember there being a holding penalty on every third kickoff in the National Football League, but you just never know. All right, 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line. Rams trail 3-0. Hayden looks at Miller on a long slant. Let's see if the Falcons play for the run. Hayden has time. He's got Miller open at the 30, to the 40, to midfield before Bias makes a tackle after a gain of 37. Yep, the Falcons were playing for the run, and Willie Miller makes his longest catch of the year of 37 yards. And that'll make things easier to digest for the Rams. Tyler and Bryant in the backfield. If you just joined us, Lawrence McCutcheon was injured the first series for the Rams, and John Cappelletti, he's going to be right back. John Cappelletti is out for the game. Tyler on a trap to the left. 1st and 10 from midfield. He gets into Atlanta territory and gets to the 46 before Jim Bailey makes the stop. 2nd and 6, a good run. So the Rams have already run it 16 times for 50 yards. Bryant on a sweep to the right. And he gets a little bit of a block, and he's going to get a first down. McLean no, he's not. He's a little bit short. The spot was not as generous, and so he's going to need a couple inches. But he got 6, and now has 19 yards on 7 carries. So you're about 4 weeks behind me. Brad, are you playing every game out or what? Tyler on a trap to the right. And he, I believe, is going to be short. Yep, Fields stacks him up for a yard loss. They were looking for Colin Bryant. They got Wendell Tyler instead, and the Rams get nothing. Absolutely nothing out of it. And Glenn Walker is the punter for the Rams, and he will punt into this wind. Atlanta will let it roll. Hoping for a touchback. Good punt. Good punt from the, well, actually, it's from the 6. It's a 35-yard punt, but they'll take it. So 11 minutes to go in the first half. It is Atlanta 3, Los Angeles nothing. You coach the 78 Cowboys and the 73 Dolphins. Well, that's how you lost to, you got one of the 2 games that Burt Jones played. Brad and I were watching Al's tournament, which I'll promote when Al says he's back. But, yeah, usually I play both the offenses. I find that more fun that way. For me, anyway. Bubba Bean off tackle left from their own 6. In Atlanta, Bean Reynolds makes a tackle at the 9-yard line. Jack Reynolds has 3 tackles on the day already. That's a gain of 3. And the Rams play the run very well. Stanbeck in a trap to the right, hoping for a better block, and he can't get to the 10-yard line. Robertson makes the tackle at the 10. It's 3rd and 6. Billy Rickman on a medium slant. The Rams blitz. Bartowski waits for it, dumps it down to Stanbeck. Stanbeck reaches for the first down marker. Nolan Cromwell, who's a nickelback, makes the tackle, but not before they get 7 yards. So it's a 1st and 10 for the Falcons from their own 17. Bubba Bean on a pitch to the near side on first down, and he's got some room. 20, 25, 1st and 10 at the 28, a gain of 11. And Brad says my numbers on Staubach are ridiculous. His 18 touchdowns to just 1 pick. Yeah, but the Cowboys are that good. No 70s quarterback was that good, Brad. But if you know how to call it, I mean, I'm going to make a video about this at some point. And I'll tell you about it after this medium fly pass to Wallace Francis. Bartowski to throw it. He launches it. He's launching one, and Francis was open by himself at the 35 and dropped it. And absolutely dropped it. That was 6 points. He had the defender beat. Does it say which one? Whoever's a 9. He had Pat Thomas beat. Let's watch this again. Take a look at it. He had a good step on Pat Thomas at about the 35-yard line, and he was gone. Oh, 2nd and 10 for the Falcons from their 28. Stand back. They'll go with the play on a trap right. Bartowski had the chance to audible, and that's the right call. As Stanbeck gets it to the 40-yard line, a gain of 13. Robertson makes the tackle at the 41. Yeah, this is a fun game. What I was thinking, though, we do all these after the fact. Not the games themselves, but we have all the stats, and so the cards are designed for that. And it's just, I think in some ways it's easier to play knowing what you know, especially 30, 40 years after the fact, and adjust. But that's just me. Bean on a trap to the left. 1st and 10 from the Atlanta 41. He runs it to the sidelines. Reynolds with a tackle at the 45. That's Jack, and that's 5 tackles for him this evening. So under 7 minutes to go. Falcons 3, Rams nothing. 7 minutes to go in the first half. 2nd and 6. Stanbeck off tackle right. And he tries to get around the 45-yard line. Robertson just kind of dances with it until they get to the 47. And it'll be 3rd down and 4 from there. So the Falcons go 3 wide. Alfred Jackson is the 3rd receiver. And we're going to try a medium cross to him. The Rams get to Bartowski. He's going to have to run. He's not going to get the 1st down. He's to midfield. Oh, and he gets the good measurement from the crew in stripes. And so it's a gain of 4, and it's 1st and 10. Under 6 minutes to go. Falcons on the LA side of the field at the 49-yard line. Again, medium cross is the call here. Rams flush him again. The throw over, complete to Jackson to the 30. 35. Nolan Cromwell makes the stop at the 32. Yeah, the key to that Cowboy team, and we'll have them next week because it will be next Tuesday because they will be in Miami and Bob Gracie's injury is over. Is Newhouse. You have such a two-headed monster there with Newhouse, and if you need to rest him, you got Laidlaw. So Bean comes out for Ricky Patton, as I spit everywhere. 1st and 10 from the Los Angeles 32-yard line. Stanbeck off tackle to the right. And he gets it to the 30 before Cody Jones makes the first tackle of the game for himself. 4 minutes and change to go. Atlanta, 11 plays, 64 yards. Yeah, New England is a good team. All right, now that Al's back, I'll plug this thing in a minute. After this play. 2nd and 8. Patton on a trap to the right from the Los Angeles 30-yard line, and the Rams had that one sniffed out. No gain. They played for the run, but they didn't key anybody. And so it'll be 3rd down and 8. Rickman on a short slant from the 30. And Bartowski is ripped down from behind by Cody Jones. So that's the first sack of the game, and that knocks Atlanta out of field goal range. And so they're 4th and 12. You guess you got a punt. And so John James will pooch it. How well does he pooch it? And that goes right in the end zone. It's a 34-yard punt. So the Rams will start with 2:25 to go in the first half. It's amazing what happens, how fast these games go when you run. They trail 3-0. And they'll go 3 wide. Waddy is the 3rd receiver. Tyler, short pass in the flat. Hayden gets it. Oh, and Tyler was by himself, and he saw green and didn't have the football. So, yeah, I don't if Brad talks about it on a YouTube channel or what, but Brad is doing an interesting 78 replay, and he's taking out the Chargers and the Dolphins and replaced them with the 81 Chargers and the 73 Dolphins. He'll correct me if I'm wrong. And is doing that, and he's on week 5. Al is doing a 1981 and done tournament. 76 Raiders and 81 Niners in the replay. Both not surprisingly, leading their division. Yeah, especially the 76 Raiders. And the 81. Yeah, this is, as I said, if the Rams win, they're 4 and 5 and are in first place. It's just not a good division. San Francisco is 2 and 7, I think, for me. You're not going to see them on this replay unless it's a Week 16 must game for one of these two teams. Yep. Al is doing a one-and-done 1980s tournament. Watched a nice game last night between the San Diego Chargers and the Detroit Lions. And Al reminds me that New England in 78 had the Fairbanks fiasco at the end of the year when the ownership fired him, the players revolted, and they brought him back. They're going to host a playoff game, I would think, this year. We'll have the Patriots back on. They really haven't played any compelling matchups outside that Philly game, which had the dreaded drop frame. The drop frame bowl. Anyway, 2nd and 10. Waddy on a medium slant. Hayden has time. He waits, and he moves down and then tries to find Tyler, and it's incomplete. Moreau is gone for the Falcons. Excuse me. And he's out for the game. That's not a good sign. But the Los Angeles can't do anything with it. 3rd and 10 from their own 20. Miller on a short slant. Hayden again. He finds Miller at the 25, but Bias makes an immediate stop. And the Falcons will get it at the 2-minute warning following a punt. Glenn Walker stands at his 11-yard line. 3 and out for Los Angeles. Walker hits this one pretty much off the side of his foot. Going to be returnable by Atlanta at the 35-40 to the 45. It's Rickman. Billy Rickman on the return. Carl Eckern makes the tackle at the Atlanta 42. They lead 3-0, and a touchdown may be enough. I mean, my goodness, they won the game with 5 field goals. The Rams were a 6.5-point favorite in the real game. But Atlanta, I believe I saw, was favored by 4 or 5. Francis on a medium hitch. Nope. Stanbeck on a screen audible. 1:54 to go. Rams blitz flag down. It's incomplete.
Face mask. Defense. 15-yard penalty.
Oh.
Automatic. First down.
So one of the young bloods, and the computer can't determine which one, grabs a face mask, and Atlanta now is on the Los Angeles side of the field at the 43-yard line. Patton No, who's my best receiver? Bubba Bean comes in as the lone setback. Francis, Rickman, and Jackson are the three receivers, and Mitchell the tight end. Medium cross to Alfred Jackson. Bartowski to throw. Has time. And is deflected by Nolan Cromwell and intercepted by Perry, who gets it to the 30-yard line. That's Rod Perry's 5th interception. But give Nolan Cromwell all the credit in the world. He stayed with Jackson toe-to-toe and got a piece of it. And just as soon as it looked like the Falcons were going to be in business to do something in the second quarter, the Rams get the first turnover, cause their own turnover, their first turnover of the game, and with 95 seconds and 3 timeouts, it's 1st and 10 from the Ram 37. Miller on a medium hitch. Hayden looks and throws to Tyler and is hit by Kuykendall and can't hang on. And so Tyler is dropped too. Hayden now 5 of 8 for 80 yards. Oh my goodness, Cromwell was an incredible safety. They go 3 wide. And Tyler is the best receiver of the bunch. Young on a short slant. Hayden waits, has time, and leads Young too far, and it's incomplete. 3rd and 10 for the Rams from their own 37. So they got a gift. Let's see if they can cash it in. What can Billy Waddy do for you? Medium hitch. Hayden looks to his rolling and is going to get sacked by Pennywell. He never heard it. He never heard Pennywell and made no effort to dump it off. And it says here's an actual quote from the play-by-play, Ray Malavasi is ticked off. You never want that to happen. So Atlanta will call timeout. The Rams will have to punt from their own 28 on 4th and 19. And here comes Glenn Walker. And that's not a good punt. Atlanta will get decent field position. Fielded at the 35 and a fair catch called by Jackson. And so with 1:14 and 2 timeouts left, Atlanta hopes to get Mazzetti into field goal range. Being the lone setback, Francis, Rickman, and Jackson, though receivers. Jackson. Short hitch on 1st and 10. Bartowski completes it to Jackson. Cromwell makes the tackle after a gain of 9. Atlanta will not call timeout. They go the hurry-up from their own 44. Francis. Medium fly. Bartowski has time. He waits. He fires it down to Bean, who drops it. So it's 3rd and 1 with 50 seconds to go. Bean on a trap to the right. They just want the first down. They get it and a little bit more to midfield. It's actually spotted at the LA 49. And they'll call time. They have 1 left. 42 seconds to go. First half, 3-0 Falcons. Bean on a screen. That sounds like a Dr. Seuss book. And that is incomplete. So the short passes just aren't there for Atlanta. Bartowski 5 for 11 for 49 yards. But you can't run it here. Well, it's Francis on a short cross. You got to try to get more points. Francis has it. He won't get the first down, or he might get it. Yes, he does. It's a gain of 10. They go hurry up. Bean in the flat. 22 seconds left from the LA 39. Bartowski waits too long. There's a flag down.
Roughing the passer.
Oh!
Number 90, 15-yard penalty.
And so Bartowski takes one to the chops from Brooks. So instead of a Hail Mary, it's going to be a long kick for Mazzetti with 5 seconds left. This will be from 41 yards. Last play of the half. Mazzetti has a 40% chance of making this. Yes, I'm sure. So here we go. The kick is up. The kick is long enough, and it is good. And so with 1 second left to go in the half, just barely, it's 6-0 Atlanta. And so Mazzetti will get a foot on it. People have started to go get their refreshments and go to the bathroom. Return taken by an upman at the 20-yard line. And Jodat had it, and Ted Napel makes the tackle. Atlanta's football. And you can look at the team stats for a minute. Pearson is a deep returner. Well, I fuel up on Jesus and Coke. And see, the Rams have had more offense, but the Falcons lead on the scoreboard 6-0. And that might be hard to say. There's still 7 weeks left. But if Atlanta wins this game, they're going to have a 2-game lead on everybody. And unless Atlanta just completely coughs up a hairball, I'm not sure they're going to get caught. So Frank Corral with the ball on his 35. He's the new kicker for Los Angeles. They had, you can take a look at this for a second, individual stats. They had Rafael Septien in 1977, if you remember. And the Cowboys had Efren Herrera. And they were traded for each other. And so Corral is doing the kicking here. And the Cowboys got the, as Brad will tell you, the Cowboys got the better end of that deal, didn't they? All right, so Corral has it at the 35. Atlanta had the football. Pearson back to return it. And he's driven back to his 5-yard line, 4-yard line to the 10, 20. Good return to the 30. Cromwell with a tackle, and there are no flags. So it's a 26-yard return. And Atlanta starts the second half from their own 30. That's a good return. Bubba Bean on a sweep to the left. And he is swarmed down. They're tackled by Brooks. There's a flag down.
Offense, number 24, 10-yard
It's on Standback, the fullback. And the Rams will take a loss of 3 instead. 6-0 Falcons, just the start of the third quarter. 2nd and 13. Standback on a trap to the right. Gets it across the 25, 35. He's going to reach for a first down. Thomas makes a tackle for after a gain of 14. Jeff Van Note, the excellent center, makes the big block, and Atlanta needed that. My goodness. So they have it at their own 41 in a fresh set of downs. Bean on an off tackle to the left. Bean tries to get a couple yards. Reynolds with the tackle at the 44-yard line. They doubled Billy Rickman there, and that's 7 for Jack. 6-0 Atlanta. Standback on a trap to the right. Across the 45. He tries to cut back inside. Gets 3. It'll be 3rd and 4 from their own 47. Francis on a medium hitch. Bartowski has time. He's got Francis inside LA territory. It's a first down and more. Inside the 40 to the 37-yard line. It's a gain of 16. And the Falcons are cooking with gas. Thanks, Brett. I appreciate that. A lot of that has to do with Football Reference. And a lot of it has to do with being just the right age during these years. It's scary. It really is scary. 1st and 10 for the Falcons from the LA 37. Being off tackle right. He thought he had a block. That closed up pretty quick. Robertson makes the stop at the line of scrimmage, and Isaiah has 6 tackles. 2nd and 10 for the Falcons on the LA 37. We're kind of headed. Al's back after his lunch for a couple minutes. We're kind of headed in the territory where this is one of those games that mirror real life. Tim Mazzetti had 5 field goals in the real game. They won 15-7. That's Pro Football Reference. I can't pull that out of my hat there, Brad. And it's 6-0 on 2 Mazzetti field goals, and they're getting in shape for a third. 2nd down and long. Stand back off tackle to the right. Gets it across the 37. No, to the 36. So it's a 1-yard gain, and Jack Youngblood makes his first tackle. Al's pretty smart. Did you also know that he looks pretty good in those ads with Peyton Manning for Nationwide Insurance? Al's going to go, what are you talking about? What did I put in my Coke today? Rickman on a medium slant. 3rd and 9. Rams blitz. Bartowski throws. Rickman has it for a first down. He gets to the 20 before Perry can knock him down at the 17-yard line. That's a gain of 19. And that's the big difference between the Falcons and the Rams tonight, is that the Falcons can make the passes when they need to, and the Rams can't. I mean, Al hasn't quite gotten the joke I threw at him yet. No, he was fine coaching the Lions. You know, as I said in the chat last night, Al sounds like every announcer I've ever heard from Chicago. Just death, or Larry Munson, speaking of Georgia, with the Bulldogs. Everything's great for your team, and everything goes against you. Just absolutely fantastic. 1st and 10. Being on a trap to the left from the LA 17. He gets a block. He gets to the 10. He's got a first down. Reynolds makes a tackle at the 5-yard line. So Jack Reynolds has saved the Rams bacon, but the Falcons are just knocking on the door. 22 carries for 90 yards as a team, and Warren Bryant, the left tackle, was the one that made the big block. Ricky Patton comes in for Bubba Bean. He favors Brad Paisley also. Oh. Stand back on a sweep to the left from the 5-yard line. I probably should have put in a second time. And nope, don't need it. He found a seam. Hansel stand back goes in the end zone, and that's 6. And so the Falcons do what they could not do in real life. They get a touchdown with 9:01 to go. Here comes Mazzetti for the extra point. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 9:01 to go in the third quarter, it's Atlanta 13, the Rams nothing. And 7 yards deep, Los Angeles isn't going to return that. So the Rams have to do something that they're not comfortable in doing. They're going to have to throw the football at least somewhat here. They need something. They don't need 7 or 6, but 3 would do. But they can't get nothing. Yeah, as Al says, as soon as I said that, it popped up that this score could be enough for the Falcones. Miller on a medium slant on first down. Hayden is rushed. He waits. He dumps it down to Bryant. Flag on the play. Bryant is tackled by Pennywell at the 26.
Holding offense number 75.
And then we'll come back.
10-yard penalty.
As John Williams, not that John Williams, gets called with a hold. So 1st and 20 from the Los Angeles 10. Cullen Bryant on the draw. And that's a pendulum play, and the pendulum only goes 2 yards. Edgar Fields makes the tackle. It's a gain of 2. Yeah, this division just is not very good, which is why I've made an effort not to feature them. But this game was too important. The goal is to have every playoff team at least once on in the regular season, so it's not a surprise to you and me when we get to the playoffs. So 2nd and 18. Tyler on the screen. Hayden finds Tyler at the 8. Has a bit of a seam. He gets it to the 20-yard line. He escapes one tackle, but McLean makes the final stop at the 19 for a gain of 7. So it's 3rd down and 11. What can we do to Billy Waddy? We need 11. Medium fly to Waddy. 3 wide. Hayden waits. Good coverage. He has to dump it down to Tyler. Tyler, though, has absolutely no seam as Kuykendall makes the tackle after a gain of 1. That's Fulton's first tackle of the day, and the Rams are essentially going 3 and out. All right. Hey, thanks, Al, and thanks all of you for watching this so far. Hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'm sure I'll talk with Al tonight during Dungeons and Dragons. So Glenn Walker comes out to punt. He stands on his 5. And that's a decent punt. Falcons have the win here in the 3rd quarter. Field called for a fair catch at the 40. That was Rickman. And so the Falcons start there. Patton and Stanback are the running backs. Francis and Rickman the wide receivers, and Wright the tight end. Short hits to James Wright. Rams blitz. And they got Bartowski just about the time he got the ball. The line did not hold there. And Robertson gets credit for the sack. That's the 2nd sack for the Rams. They need to make something happen right now. 6 and change to go. Probably under 6 now here in the 3rd quarter. 2nd and 14. Stanback to a pitch to the near side. He gets it across the 35. He gets a couple yards. Brooks will knock him down at the 40-yard line out of bounds. So Stanback 11 carries for 50 yards. Brooks with 4 tackles. And it's a passing situation. Rickman on a medium cross. The Rams blitz. Bartowski under pressure. And he tried to find, who was it? He was chased by Reynolds. And so he threw in the general direction of Patton. But Patton never saw it. So the 3 and out for the Falcons, and the Rams have forced a punt. The defense, Atlanta's favored by 4. I saw that pop up. So here's John James. The Rams need something to go their way. They're going to try to return this from their 15-yard line. Well, yep. And that was not a good move, as it was Rysick knocks down Wallace after a gain of 3. Jackie Wallace on the return. Rysick on the tackle. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams from their own 16. And I think Al's right. I think that score was probably enough for Atlanta. Cullen Bryant on a trap to the right on 1st and 10. And he gets it to the 17. Lewis for Atlanta comes out. And Falmunia replaces him as the defensive tackle. Lewis is gone for the game. Maybe the Rams can pick on that a little bit. McLean, by the way, made the tackle on Bryant for 1. And that's Dewey's 3rd of the ball game. 2nd and 9 for the Rams from their own 17. Again, Bryant trap right. And Bryant is stood right up by McLean. He gets nothing. Clock running, under 5 to go. John Williams with the bad block. Rams have run it 21 times, as you would expect, but only have 58 yards to show for it. 137 net. The Falcons, 185. Ron Jesse on a short slant on 3rd and 9. Falcons in the backfield immediately, but Jesse has it for a 1st down. Yes, they had to measure for it. Roland Lawrence with an immediate tackle, but it is a 1st down, a fresh set of downs for the Rams from their own 26. Clock running, About 4 minutes to go here in the third. Miller on a long slant. Hayden looking, throws, and it was not caught. Bias with blanket coverage, and it was incomplete. And no one asked for any flags. 2nd and 10. Jim Jodat is in for Tyler. And Jodat will try the sweep to the left. Does that work? Yep, gets to the 29. And there's a fumble. Bailey forces the fumble, and Fields covers it for Atlanta. So the Rams turn it over again. With 3:41 to go in the third, Atlanta sitting really pretty from the Los Angeles 28. Long fly to Francis. Bartowski wants a one-play drive. And he's going to run to the 30, 25. Youngblood with a tackle after a gain of 6. They blitzed one. They keyed on standback and just covered the receivers enough so Atlanta, Bartowski had to run for his life, and he got 6 out of it. 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Ball at the Ram 22, 2nd and 4 for Atlanta. Standback on a pitch to the near side. As a block across the 20. Reynolds makes the big hit. Short of the first down. So 3rd down and very short. Double tight end set. Standback trapped to the left. And he's got the first down, and that's about it. They'll give him 2. Larry Brooks with the tackle. A gain of 2. Fresh set of downs. Under 2 minutes to go in the third. From the LA 16. Bubba Bean back in the game for Atlanta. Kraft left for Bubba. And he gets to the 15 and kind of reaches down to the 13, but Francis got tangled up in that loose turf. We talked about how good it looked. Well, they're on the part where the shortstop would be because Atlanta's football field ran across the diamond, not up and down, and he caught a seam and tweaked his ankle. He'll be back in a couple plays, but Atlanta could use him now. 2nd and 7. Jackson is the receiver in there. Rickman on a short slant. Bartowski has time. He does not find Rickman. Rickman ran the right route, but the throw was a little bit faster than Rickman could run it. So it's 3rd and long, 3rd and 7 from the LA 13. And you're an 88% chance of Mazzetti making it from here. So Bubba Bean says, pitch to the right to me. And Bartowski says, okay. And he gets across the 15, is going to lose it, and gets back to the line before Jack Youngblood makes the tackle. So Mazzetti comes out as an 88% chance of making this. We don't need to slow it down right now. You want to be pedantic, 88.3% chance of making this. Good snap, good hold, and Mazzetti makes it 16-0. With 47 seconds left to go, Francis will be back for the Falcons their next drive. It's Atlanta in this NFC West crucial game, 16. The Rams, nothing. And they'll return it. They won't return it. 5 yards deep. So Jodat and Bryant, the running backs for the Rams. Jesse and Miller, the wide receivers. Young, the tight end. And they are in a world of hurt. Again, anything on the scoreboard is going to help. 7 would be beneficial. Jodat, sweep to the left from the Los Angeles 20. And he doesn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Pennywell smashes him down after a loss of 2. And Robert Pennywell has 6 tackles. And after 3 quarters, it's the Falcons 16, the Rams nothing. Time for me to take a drink. Second and 12 from the Los Angeles 18. The Grits Blitz is pitching a shutout. The only thing missing is Phil Niekro at this point. Bryant on a short flat. Hayden finds Bryant at the 15 to the 20, 25. He's going to get a first down at the 30 and more to the 35. Kuykendall with a stop after a gain of 19. That was the right call. So the Rams get a fresh set at their own 37-yard line. So Hayden now is 9 for 14 for 116 yards. Short, short, short. The passes, that is. And I guess myself, too. Miller on a medium hitch. Atlanta blitzes. And that is dumped down. And I mean dumped down. Saul, the center, by the way. That's the one you saw coming off. So Hayden had it tipped by Bailey, incomplete. And then Ron Saul has to go and get an ankle retaped because he got stepped on. His return is probable. Second and 10 on that busted play. Rams poor. Yep. All right. I got to do the intro. And for those of you coming in expecting to see 60 Minutes, it will be seen in its entirety. Following the conclusion of the Falcons and the Rams, it's been all Atlanta 16-0. And a Falcon win makes them 5-4 and gives them a 2-game lead in the NFC West. Scully was more of a baseball game, Brad. You're absolutely right. And the other thing is that he would call them the Falcons. And I don't remember that as a kid. There was, if you poke around the tube enough, I'll get to that, Mr. Whitehill. He for the longest time he would call them the Falcons. You can find some of Scully's football work. Scully was all right. He had terrible analysts most of the time. Second and 10 for the Rams from their own 37-yard line. Jodat, again, we're going to try to pitch it to the left. Let's see if he can actually get past the line of scrimmage. Barely, but he fumbles it. Kuykendall knocks it out. Cullen Bryant recovers it, so there's no gain on the play. And the Rams, Jodat has carried it 3 times and has fumbled it twice. So yeah, if I was to do the whole Pat Summerall, a reminder that 60 Minutes will be seen in its entirety after the conclusion of this game, except for on the West Coast where it will be seen in its regularly scheduled time, followed by Murder, She Wrote, and the CBS Saturday night movie My Unexpected Hysterectomy, starring Valerie Bertinelli, all tonight on CBS. Actually, Tony, this was a Monday night game. Hi, Mark. How are you? I remember a game between the Rams and Falcons, and the Rams won 51-0. I bet that was from the 80s, right? Rams' offense was actually good. I remember a playoff game against the Cowboys. Playoff game against the Cowboys that didn't go so well for Dallas. What am I doing here in 3rd and 10? We go 3 wide. Jesse on a medium cross. Hayden looks, fires. He finds Jesse for a first down at midfield. He gets into Atlanta territory, and Lawrence makes a tackle after a gain of 17. Saul comes back in for the Rams. They're grateful for that. And so, a fresh set from the Atlanta 46. Remember, anything here will work for Los Angeles, as long as the scoreboard changes from 0. Jodat off tackle right. And he gets a little bit of room there. Lawrence makes the tackle, but after a gain of 4. So 2nd and 6 from the Atlanta 42. Short slant to Billy Waddy. Hayden under pressure. Waits. Now good coverage. Down to Jodat at the 40. First down and more. Kuykendall with a tackle after a gain of 9. So 1st and 10 for Los Angeles. Frank Corral says, I got a 40% chance of making this. Cullen Bryant comes back in the game. They go two 2 running backs and 2 receivers. Bryant on a trap right from the Atlanta 33. He gets it across the 30. Good run. Yates makes the tackle after a gain of 5. So Bryant, only 11 carries for 27 yards, gives the Rams 2nd and 5 from the Colt 28, from the Falcon 28. Hi, everybody. Hi, dog. And Mark, if I didn't say hi to you already, 11 minutes to go. Another audience joining us here for a surprise for Thursday afternoon football. All Atlanta, 16-0 in a game that, if the Atlanta wins, will hold a 2-game lead in the NFC West. The Rams are looking to try to score. 2nd and 5. Jodat, off tackle left. Can he fumble it again? No. He will get to the 26-yard line before Jim Bailey makes the tackle. So it's 3rd and 3 for Los Angeles. And they are definitely within field goal range for Corral now. Hayden looks at his own number and says, let me try a bootleg. He rolls. He's got room, but he won't get the first down. Falomino read it all the way, and that gets right back to the line of scrimmage. Oh. And so out comes Corral. The snapper will be Saul. Walker is the holder, the punter. And Corral has a 64.8% chance of making this. Good snap, good hold. It's drifting through the crossbar. So Los Angeles is finally on the board. It won't be a shutout for Phil Negro. 8:58 to go in the game. Los Angeles trails 16-3. Yep, Steve Bartkowski's on this team. He's the quarterback for Atlanta. He must have got hurt because Jude Jones went 7 for 11 for 87 in this game. Speaking of Bartkowski, I'm glad you asked, dog. On the year before this game, 125 for 232 for 1,431 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. And Atlanta will take a knee time here from the end zone, and out comes Bartkowski. He's got Bubba Bean and Hassel Standback behind him. Francis and Rickman are his wideouts, and Wright is the tight end. Bean off tackle left from their own 20 across the line of scrimmage and gets about 5. In fact, he will get 5 before Jack Reynolds. And as you can see, Reynolds has made 10 tackles today. This is where the Rams have to stand tall. If they could force a turnover, they would be sitting even prettier. Bean on a dive from the 25, and he moves the line about 2. Youngblood with a stop. 8 and change. Actually, it's under 8 after we run the play here. 3rd and 3. Standback. Short pass in the flat from Bartkowski. Steve gets it down to Standback. Not going to get the first down. Yes, he does. Across the 30. 35-40. Reynolds with a tackle. It's a gain of 13. And Atlanta gets the crucial first down. They have it 1st and 10 from their own 40. Snap right to Standback. And he gets about 4 yards before Cody Jones makes the tackle. And now Atlanta's just eating some clock. They're in good shape now. Mitchell, the tight end. Rams defense is trying to do their job. They just got to force a turnover. Bubba Bean trap right on 2nd down and 6. Across the 45, Robertson makes the tackle. Oh, Van Nota's hurt. He gets up, but his day is done. And Rysick is your center, and he's only a 4. So the bad news is the injury. The double bad news for Atlanta is that clock is stopped with 6:10 to go. Two tight end set. Bean will go off tackle right. 6:10 to go. And he does not get the block. The Rams defense does their job. He gets nothing, and he'll have to like it. And so Atlanta will punt. They will be in absolutely no hurry to get this away. Wallace and Waddy are the return men for the Rams. James punting into the wind. And the Rams will return this from their own 15-ish, approximately. It's a short punt. Taken at the 12 to the 15. Good to the... there's a flag down, so never mind.
Offsides.
Oh!
Defense.
Oh, what
penalty.
a mistake. Pat Thomas jumped. Pat Thomas jumped before the snap. Atlanta keeps the ball. Oh, my goodness. So Patton comes in for Bean. And yeah, they were doing their job until that play. Bean is Atlanta's leading rusher, 108 carries for 376 yards. Standback will go off tackle to the right. And he gets to the line and gets to the 45. Gain of 2. And they're not going to hurry, but they're not going to go into a slowdown yet either. Patton on the dive, 2nd and 8. And he gets to the 44, and the ball is loose. Youngblood forces a fumble, but Bartowski picks it up, and Atlanta keeps possession. And so sometimes you just know when it's your night, and for Atlanta, that was it. 3rd and 7. They're going to have to throw it here. Short hitch to Francis. Bartowski almost gets nicked. Well, let's see what happened. Thomas drilled Francis as the ball got there. Francis wanted the flag. There is no flag, and so Atlanta will punt from the Ram 44. But 4 minutes left. And James will aim for the sideline. Oh, my gosh. He hit that really out the side of his foot. This is going to be great field position for the Rams, all things considered. It's an 18-yard punt. And the Rams will start from their own 26. 3:54. They need 2 touchdowns. They have all 3 timeouts. Willie Miller on a medium slant. Hayden looks, throws, flag down.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 38. Automatic. First down.
Well, Bias pretty much had his leg between Miller's. And so that's an easy flag. That's the first penalty on Atlanta today. Wow. So 1st and 10, and more importantly, the clock is stopped with 3:48 left from their own 38. Short cross to Terry Nelson on 1st and 10. Hayden finds Nelson at the 45, but Pridemore is right there. It's a gain of 7. And the Rams go hurry up. Bryan off tackle to the right. Hopes for the first down. Is he going to get it? McLean makes the tackle, but they're short. They need a yard. 3rd and 1. Ron Jesse on a medium slant. Hayden looks. He throws. Jesse has it at the Atlanta 40. It's a first down. An immediate tackle by Lawrence. And so they bring him right to the line. Willie Miller on a medium hitch. Hayden looks, throws. Jesse catches it at the 35. Ball stays in bounds. Jesse has 5 catches for 64 yards. Hayden now 14 for 20 for 167. 2nd and 5. Miller on a medium slant from the Atlanta 35. Hayden gets it off. Bias got a piece of it, and it deflects incomplete. 3rd and 5, 2:24 to go. Corral is not in the field goal range, but it won't matter. It's touchdown or bust at this point. Pitch to the right for Bryant because they're going to get the 2-minute warning anyway. See if they can pick up the first. They do. Inside the 25, Bryant fights for ground. He gets a gain of 13. That's the right call. And the Rams call the timeout right there. 2:13 to go. Bryant, 14 carries for 42 yards. Let's see what we're going to do here on 1st and 10. Wendell Tyler comes back in. He'll get split off wide. Bryant is a lone setback. Tyler is a receiver. Short hitch to Tyler, but there's a flag down.
Of course Offense, number 11, 5-yard
the
penalty.
Quarterback.
Repeat, first down.
Isn't that lovely? Pat Hayden didn't even know his own snap count. Moved a foot. Cost him 5. 1st and 15 from the Atlanta 27. And they'll go pitch right. They just want to take it to the 2-minute warning. It's a free play. 25, 21-yard line. Yates will knock him down after a gain of 6. The clock is stopped. So that's actually a good play. 2:02 to go. 2nd and 9 from the 21. We're going to go a long slant from Miller in the end zone on 2nd and 9. Hayden waits. He flips it down, and Miller dropped it. Bias hit him as Miller was making the catch, and we've reached the 2-minute warning with 1:56 to go. Atlanta 16, the Rams 3. And it's 2-down territory. They don't have much of a choice. Tyler in the flat. Hayden looks, and he flips it to Bryant. Instead, inside the 20, he gets a first down and a little bit more. Pennywell with a tackle at the 11-yard line, and he's hit out of bounds. So 1st and 10 from the Atlanta 11. Audible, Tyler in a screen. See if he's open. Hayden leads him and leads him astray. 2nd and 10. Pass was incomplete. 98 seconds to go in the game. The Rams are looking for a miracle. Again, Miller on a medium slant. Hayden looks, dumps it down to, it's tipped by Famayuna. Incomplete. 3rd down and 10 from the 11. Bryant goes out wide. Going to try a short cross to him. Hayden waits. And Bryant dropped it. He had it at the 5-yard line and he dropped it. So this is the game. They're down 13. They're not going to get it back 3 times. They've got to go for it. They can technically get a first down without scoring, but the dink and dunk is just not working for them. As Brad says, being a Rhodes Scholar does not necessarily translate into reading defenses exceptionally well. Hayden's numbers were very average to poor, you might say, during his playing years. Not that Pat would ever tell you that in all the games that he bored us on CBS and Notre Dame games on NBC. So it'll be Ron Jesse for the game. Hayden back to throw it. Has no choice. He waits for his receivers. He finds Jesse at the 1 and scores. Well. It's 16-9. And so Corral comes out for the extra point. There's 1:19 left. The Rams can stop it twice. Corral, the extra point is up. The extra point is good. And so we're going to watch for the onside, but I'm taking the drink first. Water down, Coke Zero, nummy. So 16-10, Corral sets it up for the onside kick. Atlanta recovers. Let's see what happens. Stranger things have happened in this replay. Corral. Onside kick is this is a good chance for the Rams. Nope, Atlanta has it. Stanbeck hassles Stanbeck. It's a member of the hands team. Just kind of flops on it like it's his favorite puppy. And Atlanta has it at the 44. Yes, Hayden was a good quarterback at Southern Cal. Bartowski was a good quarterback at Cal. Pat and trap right. They're not going to throw it here. And he gets a gain of 2 before Jack Youngblood makes the tackle. Los Angeles calls time, 1:04 left. Next week's games, this should have been a single-header week. My wife actually had an appointment, but she's off today, so I didn't have to run to eat lunch. Dallas-Miami on Tuesday, and I'm going to figure out, I think I'm doing Cincinnati and San Diego on Thursday. Big game for the Bengals. They're 5-4. Stanbeck on the dive. This will be the last Rams timeout, and Stanbeck gets it to midfield. It's a gain of 4 before Jack Youngblood makes a tackle. Don't forget Dungeons & Dragons, the conclusion to our first saga. Tonight on ID Jester's channel, 54 seconds to go. Almost as much fun. I don't think anyone saw Cal play in those days, Brad. Almost as much fun as Murder, she wrote. And Mike Wallace interviews Tiny Tim tonight on 60 Minutes. So from midfield, Atlanta will run it here. Patton on a dive with 54 seconds, and I think that's going to be the end of the game. Brooks, they'll give them to him with 49 seconds. They got to run a play. They'll punt. James will punt it deep. The Rams need a miracle. From the 7. Nope, it's going to go right in the end zone. So there's 3 seconds left. I don't know. Tyler and Phillips. No, Colin Bryant. Yeah. Tony says Pat was half in the bag about that time of the game, hence a long pause. Murder, she wrote. All right. Oh, you can't do a Hail Mary. Long slant and go from Miller. Just before I hit this button, there's a 2-point... Hi, Elan, how are you? Glad to have you with us. There's a 2.1% chance that the Rams win this game, okay? Just putting it out there before I hit the button. There's a 3.9% chance that the Falcons intercept this. So here we go. Last play of the game. Hayden looking, dumps it to Brian. Are you kidding me? It's a complete pass, but it does not matter. Rhodes Scholar Mai Tushy. The Falcons survive 16-10. And they are now in full command of the NFC East 9 weeks in. So Hayden went 17 for 28 for 194 and a 93.5 rating. Bartowski went 9 for 18 for 45. Does it feel like Hayden was the better quarterback today? It didn't to me. Stanbeck ran for 66, Bean for 59, Bryant 48, McCutcheon was hurt, and Capoletti was hurt. So the Rams really came into this one with a hand tied behind their back. The scoring, for those of you who didn't make it until late, Tim Mazzetti had 3 field goals, 31, 41, and 30. That gave Atlanta a 16-0 lead through a Stanbeck 5-yard touchdown run in the third. The Rams gave it a go. Corral with a field goal with 8:58 to go, and then Hayden hit Jesse with a minute 19. They got the ball back for one last play, but it wasn't all that good. Team stats, you can see those all. 19-14 Atlanta with first downs. They ran it 39 times for 140. 7 penalties for the Rams for 73 yards. And the offense, this was, as Al would say, a defensive slobknocker. 275 for the Rams and 239 for Atlanta. They made the most of what they could. They'll still be there in the on demand. Don't worry about that. You can always watch them later. All right. Because I'm trying not to sneeze. So the standings there give Atlanta at 5-4. The Rams fall to 3-6. Week 10, I guess. Week just 1 or 2. Well, you know we're seeing Dallas and Miami because Mr. Greasy's back, and I'm leaning towards Cincinnati and San Diego because San Diego is 7-2 in the AFC West. Cleveland in a big one against Houston as well. They're 8-1. Hold on. And that's big because Pittsburgh has a short win against New Orleans. Atlanta against San Francisco, they're 1-8. And so I'll just show, probably easier to show you this way. I think you can see everything. Well, you can't see this, the standings. Patriots are 7-2, and they go to Buffalo, so they should go to 8-2. But it looks like I'm going to do in Dallas, Miami on Tuesday, and Cincinnati and San Diego. That's a big game for Cincinnati too, and especially for San Diego. We should have some clarity in the wild card race of the AFC because Cleveland and Houston's a big one too. And if you want to look ahead to Week 11, Denver-Cleveland looks like a sure thing, and so does Houston-New England. And so does Dallas and Green Bay. That might be a triple header week. Oh, God, there's like 4 big games. Well, we'll figure it out. So there you go. Hit that like button and subscribe. Dog Sidious and I will be with you tonight at 8 o'clock for Dungeons & Dragons on ID Jester's channel with Stratomatic Delaware and Herb Pilgrim. Have yourselves a good day. I'll talk to you sometime soon. Thanks a bunch.